How many of you have seen this ad? This is again digital. It's an amazing, amazing story, which you will see just now. And for human beings, I mean, for me to say sorry to my wife, I feel a little hassled sometimes. But then we have this joke that in the morning you wake up and say sorry, 5 times, and you sort of forget for the rest of the day. But for a brand to say sorry is not easy. So let's see this.
For over 125 years, we've been bringing people together. Today, we'd like to come together on something that concerns all of us: obesity. The long-term health of our families and the country are at stake. And as the nation's leading beverage company, we have played an important role. Across our portfolio of over 650 beverages, we now offer 180 low and no-calorie choices. These diet beverages still pose serious health risks. Even though we've reduced the calories per serving, these beverages can still cause kidney problems, obesity, metabolic syndrome, cell damage, and rotting teeth, which leaves 470 beverages which have extremely high, unhealthy levels of calories. Consuming large amounts of rapidly digested sugar and high fructose corn syrup causes a spike in blood sugar and insulin, which can lead to inflammation and insulin resistance, both of which may increase your risk of stroke, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and cancer. Coke has also been known to accelerate aging and cause high cholesterol. The American Heart Association recommends consuming no more than 450 calories from sugar-sweetened beverages per week, the amount in about 3 cans of soda. Imagine if cigarette companies said they were doing something responsible to protect you. How would you react to that? Beating obesity will take action by all of us, based on one simple, common sense fact. All calories are not the same, and the calories in Coca-Cola products have no nutritional value. If you choose to live a healthy lifestyle, then you should not be drinking any of our products. If you drink Coke, you'll get fatter and fatter. The solution is simple, and it's right in front of your eyes. Don't drink Coke. It's killing you and your family. Coca-Cola. We're partially responsible for America's obesity problem.
It's still on YouTube. You can go and watch it. Go and Google this and see, and you will find this whole thing there. And people are really now being happy to state upfront that this is good for you, this is not good for you. Here's another very emotional ad, which again brings to, we all think Google is one giant somewhere in the middle of nowhere, technology driven by all digital stuff. But have a look at this. Can I have the lights off, please?
ये मैं, ये यूसुफ, लंगोटिया यार सी मेरा। लाहौर में हमारे घर के सामने एक बड़ा बाग था। उस बाग का गेट बाबा आजम के ज़माने। रोज शाम को हमने वहाँ पतंगे उड़ानी और उसके बाद जाके यूसुफ के दुकान से झझरिया चुरा के खानी।
झझरिया?
मेरा साहब नमस्ते। नमस्ते। मेरी पोती मुंबई वाली। और बेटे क्या हाल चाल है?
दादाजान, दिल्ली से किसी की कॉल है।
हेलो
यूसुफ अंकल?
कौन?
जी मैं सुमन बोल रही हूँ दिल्ली से, आपके बचपन के दोस्त बलदेव जी की पोती। याद है बचपन में आप दोनों झझरिया चुरा के खाते थे?
बचपन की तंग गली फिर से कूद फांदे, छोटी छोटी मीठी चोरी काट लेके बांधे। एक पतंग सा उड़ता था परिंदों की तरह, परिंदों की तरह, परिंदों की तरह। एक दौर
पार्टीशन के वक्त हम रातों रात हिंदुस्तान आ गए।
दादू
यूसुफ थी बढ़िया जाती।
कागजों की कश्तियों में डूबा रहता था, झांकती खिड़कियों में उलझा रहता था। वो भी क्या दौर था, मन पे न जोर था, एक दौर था, मन मन मोर था, एक दौर था, मन मन मोर था।
भैया थोड़ा जल्दी।
हाँ जी, कौन? हैप्पी बर्थडे यारा। यूसुफ वो यूसुफ मेरे बल्लू यूसुफ यार।
How was it? So suddenly, all barriers go completely, out of the window. You don't care a damn. Human beings are human beings, and that's what all brands are human. Human beings are human. So we can't live with this wall around us all the time. So the last thing I want to just end with is a very interesting sorry by KFC. I mean, can you imagine the brand having the balls to say FCK? I'm sure you know what it means, right? All of you adults over here. And it says, sorry, we're sorry. And they released this ad when there was a shortage of chicken in America and they had to close their stores. And there was a huge backlash that KFC had some stores being closed and people were going back and all that stuff happened. So they just released an ad saying, shit, we're sorry. And in a very nice, funny manner, So when you read it, you see it, you say, theek hai, let it go, doesn't matter, it's okay. It happens to all of us. It doesn't have to be very serious, it doesn't have to be very boring, it doesn't have to be very, sermonizing, this is what happened to us and all the chicken, disappeared or whatever it was. No, none of that nonsense. Just a simple, interesting play on their own alphabets, as you can notice. Right? KFC became FCK. And the whole huge public angst was extinguished in a very interesting, funny, light-hearted manner. So I think we just come back quickly and I'll just wind it up in another 3-4 minutes. The basics. I think we must think from a brand point of view, think human and focus on relationships. Brands can never succeed, brands can never grow if they have no relationship. Chances are that if you've been having a bottle of Bisleri, since you were 5 years old, chances are that you'll carry on having that for a long, long time. Or whether you're having Coke or Pepsi or riding a Hero or riding a Suzuki, you get close to a brand and therefore have a relationship which is much longer than that transaction. Please understand that human beings like you and me have a personality. Some are loud, some are shy, some are aggressive, some are sweet-natured, some are bold. So don't shy away from that. When you're creating your own brand and humanizing it, please think of the brand personality. You don't like a person who doesn't have a brand personality. Trust me. If the person is just sitting in this room quietly, and you just walk past the person 3 or 4 times and you won't even notice the person at all. Very important for a human being and a brand. Stay visible. Thanks to digital, we are far more visible today than ever before. Ever before. To run one ad on the Super Bowl in America costs millions and millions of dollars. One ad, and you were talking about Apple, the famous company. When Apple launched its Macintosh in 1984, they ran the longest ad in the history of advertising at that time. And it says, why 1984 won't be like 1984. Do you know who wrote this book? Who wrote the book? Orwell. I can see that your book reading versus Kindle reading is obviously visible here. But that's exactly what happened. And they had to be, very frugal in their advertising spends. But today, an Instagram post costs nothing. You're on Instagram, it's free. Your Facebook post is free. So if you're not visible all the time, if you're not recognizable, customers will forget you. Like I said, a relationship is like a journey, whether it's with your wife, or your children, or your friends. The other important thing is practice what you preach. Because you cannot be a brand communicating something else and doing something else. That will be a huge backlash and a major boomerang for your brand plans. KFC, Coke, admit mistakes. And it doesn't have to be that you're on your knees and you're, groveling and saying, I'm so sorry, don't kill me, please. No, you can do it in an interesting manner, funny manner, whichever you want, and still admit your mistake. Like I said, humor helps. Social media, and this is where we were talking about, Prabhakar, the number of posts and the number of 300 minutes of YouTube content are uploaded every minute. So, social media, you have to be social. You cannot be a loner. You cannot suddenly say, okay, I'll come 1 year and I'll disappear for 3 months and 6 months and come back again. Create conversations. Like I asked you just now to keep in touch and talk to me. It's very important for a brand to create conversations. Time is money. While I'm speaking with you right now, half an hour, 45 minutes of your life and mine have gone by. And if you're not on your toes all the time, one fine day you'll wake up like a Fiat or an ambassador and say, "Arey, wo to zamana tha, khatam ho gaya." Today, even a big brand, a huge brand like Amul, which is still a very big brand, is facing a massive amount of threat. From where? From Britannia, from Go, from Mother Dairy, all these places. So you cannot be complacent, and time is money. You got to be immediately, either proactive or reactive. A lot of people think that digital is a very, cold and sort of not real kind of life. It's out there, cyberspace. It's digital. Now, digital. That doesn't mean it's cold. You can, like you saw, all the commercials. That surf commercial got some 15 million views on digital. I mean, television, of course, ran it, but the majority of the exposure they got was from digital. It wasn't cold. And of course, finally, be consistent. Last point I want to quickly make is that 92% of people who were interviewed said that they trust brands which are trusted by people they trust. If your mother tells you this is good for you, chances are that you will buy it. If your friend says, I like this coffee, it's pretty good, chances are that you'll go there. So word of mouth and influencer base is extremely important, whether it's a car or a bike or a microphone or a movie. How many times have you gone for a movie? Thanks to your friends saying, yeah, you must go and see Uri. Right? Uri is right now playing. So you hear that, and from a person who you know, that guy has an idea about movies, yeah, it's worth going for. Finally, the last slide. Humanizing your brand is a requirement, not an option, if you want to survive in business today. Thank you very much. Sorry. I was told that there'll be some Q&A, so house is open to any questions, and I'm more than happy to answer them. No questions? Sorry?
Due to the time constraint, we'll be taking only 2 or 3 questions.
So your time starts now. So no questions means completely boring or completely understood, right? Anybody from here? I think everybody wants lunch. I think that's the simple understanding. Thank you so much, and we can break for lunch now, I think.